Hi, I'm Salli Ward, and welcome to another episode of Her Story. We're here today at the Maryland Women's Heritage Center, and my guest today is CHRISTIE COE. She is telling us more about the Baltimore Women's Giving Circle. Don't touch that remote.
I'm sitting here with the judge, and would you give us your full name, please?
I'm Ellen Heller.
And how do you feel tonight after accepting this wonderful award?
I'm full of great gratitude. I'm honored, both to the Maryland Commission for Women, the Women's Caucus. I feel honored and very appreciative.
That's wonderful. And I mean, it's been an amazing night. You were one of 6 honorees tonight.
Well, I think that was what was humbling, that these women who were with me this evening were so outstanding, whether it was Billie Holiday and her fabulous music, or the woman doctor on the Eastern Shore, or Toby Orenstein and the theater. One story after the other unfolded. They were inspirational, and I hope inspirational to young people who were there this evening. That young women and young men can go on to follow their dream, to work hard, and to make a positive difference in life.
And you yourself are an inspiration. I mean, you have such a history and follow. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I don't know if I'm such an inspiration. I sort of feel like I'm a wife, I'm a grandmother, I'm a judge, I'm a sister. But I do know that I've worked hard in life, and I'm very proud of the opportunities that have been given to me. The opportunity to enter law, going to the University of Maryland School of Law really changed my life and gave me a profession which I'm very proud to be part of, working at the Office of the Attorney General, and then at the State Department of Education as its principal counsel, and then being appointed to the bench, the Circuit Court for Baltimore City. I feel I'm indebted for the opportunities given to me, and I also feel that I try very hard to give back to the community for all that's been given to me.
Wonderful, wonderful said. And again, I am so honored to just be sitting next to you, and want to congratulate you again on this wonderful honor, and best wishes to you.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Hi, my name is Salli Ward, and I would like to welcome you to another episode of Her Story. And with me today is CHRISTIE COE, co-chair of the Baltimore Women's Giving Circle, to let you know a little bit more about this wonderful organization.
Thank you.
Glad to have you with us, CHRISTIE. So I asked you here to tell us a little bit more and let the people of the Baltimore area know a little bit more about the Baltimore Women's Giving Circle. What would you like to have us know?
The Baltimore Women's Giving Circle is celebrating its 11th year. It is a group of women, 370 strong now, whose mission is to improve the lives of disadvantaged women in the Baltimore metropolitan area through collaborative giving and collaboration in general.
Is that what a giving circle means? Is that a circle of women coming together to pool their philanthropic interests?
Yes, there are lots of different kinds of giving circles. Baltimore is known as a traditional giving circle, and specifically what we do is each member gives $1,100. $100 goes to administrative costs, and the $1,000 is a tax-deductible charitable contribution. We give this each year. We pool our money. So this year, with 370 women, we will be giving away in grants $370,000. So we have grown to the point that we are beginning to have real impact in the Baltimore area.
And what sort of projects do you give your money to?
It's a full range, which makes it really exciting and interesting. From homeless situations, we're giving money to women's veterans programs, programs for high school girls, you name it. Families, we really want to focus, though, on helping women getting perhaps back into jobs, getting their lives on track so that their families can improve. But really, the woman, we feel, is the lead.
And so this, you said we're in our 11th year,
Yes.
and as membership co-chair, I want to just say a little bit about how a woman might become a member if she so wanted. We are under, I would say, the umbrella of the Baltimore Community Foundation.
Yes.
And you can go to the website, the Baltimore Women's Giving Circle. It's the initials, isn't it?
Yes, the bwgc.org.
And there you can download a packet about the organization, or you can contact Dorsey Gibbs at the Baltimore Community Foundation, and she will direct you as to how to become a member. And we welcome women of all ages, all types. We would like to have a very diverse group of women making lives better for women and children in the Baltimore area.
Maybe it'd be interesting to talk about our history a little bit. The Association of Baltimore Area Grant Makers, specifically Buffy Bowden Schwartz, had learned about giving circles through her research and work in philanthropy over 10 years ago, and brought this idea to ABAG, it's called. They were interested. They talked to the Baltimore Community Foundation, who agreed to give $10,000 as startup funding for a giving circle in Baltimore. Pam Corcoran and Shelley Goldsecker agreed to be the first co-chairs of the circle.
So Christy, tell me how the Women's Giving Circle got started.
It was an idea of Buffy Bowden Schwartz at the Association of Baltimore Area Grant Makers, who had done some research into giving circles and brought that to the fore. They were interested, and they went to the Baltimore Community Foundation, who agreed with them and offered to give $10,000 of startup money. So Pam Corcoran and Shelley Goldsecker were recruited. They then recruited 50 of their friends, and they were off and running. The first year, I think they just gave a couple grants, but then it's grown each year. The grant size now is $20,000. An organization can apply every other year, and that way we assure a variety and a widespread diversity of recipients. We have given over 110 organization grants. We've granted about $2.3 million to organizations in Baltimore.
That's making a big difference, I would think.
We're really proud of it. But
Yeah.
one thing that's really important, besides the money we're giving, is also we take the education of our members as equally important. So we have what we call an education committee that plans a program for each of our 4, we call them full circle meetings each year, and present different aspects of importance in the Baltimore community. For example, we just had the new Baltimore City Director of the Health Department, Dr. Alcides Barbeau, speak to us about her plan for Baltimore City Health. I believe it's Plan 2015. And we are now just so excited about getting involved in some programs that will improve the health of the women in Baltimore. That's just one example.
And what have been some other notable speakers to come and educate the Giving Circle on challenges in the area?
We have 2 different foci. One would be the important person. The mayor came last year. We've had Dr. Alonso. But of equal importance have been panel discussions, for example, on domestic violence. And when we've had experts in the field, but also those that have suffered from domestic violence, which makes it very real to our members. So when we go to the stage of making grants, our members know a little bit more than just reading the grants. They have a background.
So tell me, what does an organization, a 501c3, do if they have a great program and they would like some extra money to have it funded?
Well, they can go to our website, and we have a tab that's involved with grant making, and they can download the specifics and fill out the form, and it's due by November 30th. So the timing for this is perfect.
Good. And then what's the next step? After an organization has submitted a proposal for funding, what does the circle do next? I mean, I'm sure they just don't hand out the money.
No, no. It's actually really a competitive process. Unfortunately, no funding organization ever has as much money as they would like. Last year, we had well over 100 grant applications to look at. We first have organized ourselves in grant-making teams of about 6 women. Each team reads approximately 5 grants, and reading those 5, actually I misspoke, 5 to 10 grants. And after reading those, we decide those that we will pursue and those that we will not. Usually we remove about 2 or 3.
Christy, if an organization wants to get money, you said that they go to the website and download the forms and need to have them submitted by November 30th. Then what happens?
We, first of all, we review the forms to see if their proposal fits our criteria, if it is for women. And then we turn it over basically to our grant committee, which normally there are about 80 to 90 members of our organization that participate in the grant-making process. It's really exciting. We love the fact that so many women are involved. And it's pretty an involved process, but basically they interact with the organization and goes on for about 6 months until the decision is made and then approved by the full circle of our members. And they receive their check, application November 30th, they receive their check about in June.
Wow.
It's very exciting.
So any woman who is so inclined to be this philanthropic can join the organization. Does she have to do anything besides pay her money?
No, and actually that's what makes us so attractive. I joined actually about 6 years ago, and I was working full-time, and I didn't really know how to make a charitable deduction, donation, excuse me, who I really should give to. So it was very attractive to me that this group helps educate you on what's out there, and they have a group that will sift through the applicants and decide for you how that $1,000 is spent. But in the beginning, I was not very active. And now that I'm retired, I have a much more active role. And I think we have found that about half of our members are fully active, and the other half just write the check.
I'll hold that thought, and we'll be right back. We're at the Maryland Women's Heritage Center, and we have various things going on today. It's quite an exciting time, and I'm here with CHRISTIE COE, who is co-chair of the Women's Giving Circle, and she's telling us a little bit about this fabulous organization. CHRISTIE, you were talking about what sort of things members do if they just want to pay their money or get involved in what other sort of things?
Well, we have lots of different committees, and it depends on your expertise or what you're interested in exploring. I don't know about you, but I've found in life it's really fun to try something new. If if I worked as a journalist, it might be fun to try grant making, and we find our members enjoy that. So we offer an education committee. They determine the programs for our meetings. We have a communications committee. We put out one printed newsletter, and then we do email newsletters during the year. And then, so some women are active in that. The membership committee,
Yes.
which you're co-chair.
The membership committee is a great committee. Women of this committee try to welcome new and possibly prospective members into our circle and help them find where they want to be active. We do a couple events to introduce them to the circle, or we greet at meetings, and we just encourage everyone to look around their circle of friends and say, who do you know who'd like to know about us? And any other committees you want? I had a chance to put in a plug for the membership committee. Oh, and one other thing, we're doing a luncheon October 11th for new and prospective members who want to know more about us. And they can contact the Giving Circle and find out more about that.
I did want to mention two pretty unique committees we have. We have obviously the Grants Committee, which I mentioned, and giving our money away, but we have a committee called Grantee Connect, which we found is a unique approach. We invite our grant recipients to get together 3 times a year to talk about topics that are of interest to them. It's just a small committee of about 10 women in our organization, and we use a place, a large hall or something. Miller's Court was the last one, and last year the topic was technology. And we had some speakers come in, and they could just share ideas. So the large organizations can share with the smaller ones, and really they can benefit from each other. It's been very popular, and it's pretty unique.
So just so I'm clear about this, say Organization A got a grant last year, and Organization B and C, and they're all invited to come and just kind of share ideas and help each other and maybe make some connections
Exactly.
as to how they might improve and learn?
Exactly, and it has nothing really to do with us. We just offer the place and the speakers and a cup of coffee. And just give the chance for these recipients to get together. And we go back and we invite all of those that have received grants from us, which is over 110 organizations. So it's a lot of people. Usually about 25 to 30 attend each one of these events. So we'll be doing it again this year.
And how did, I'm going to go on to more about the Women's Giving Circle. How did you find out about the Giving Circle? I mean, almost taking you back to the very beginning.
It was just a woman I worked with, and then it turned out a friend of mine. But anyway, I found out and got involved, as I said, in a small way in the beginning. I did want to bring up something, though. You mentioned we've thrown the word co-chair around a few times today, and I did want to mention that every committee and the organization itself is run by 2 people, co-chairs. It reinforces the collaborative spirit, and also it helps in always having someone available to talk. Ellen Bernard is the other co-chair of the circle with me, and she's in New York today.
Yeah.
So it was great that I could come. And I know for you, Debbie Kassendijk is the other co-chair of membership.
And she's on her boat in Annapolis, so it's nice to have 2 people to go back and forth and help each other
Really?
do the jobs, duties,
In most
and fun
cases,
activities.
excuse me, and with the committees, one, they stagger the co-chairs. So one, there's always a new one with a seasoned co-chair.
Yeah,
which is
I'm the
helpful.
newbie. You mentioned that we've given grants to over 110 different organizations.
Yes.
Are there some that you can kind of highlight to explain what sort of grants we are giving out?
Well, I brought the list because there's so many, and I have those that I love. One I love is GEM, the GEM program, which is at Chesapeake High School, and this is for teenage girls. And it's sponsored by Living Classrooms, and it just helps the girls develop self-esteem. It's a wonderful program, and we actually granted to them in their pilot year, their first year, which we love to do. You know, another one that we're very proud of is the Baltimore Outreach Services that trains women in the catering business. And we've given to them a number of years, and that again was a pilot project. But on the other hand, we've given funding to Kids on the Hill, let's say interim housing, the YWCA.
Okay, so small groups and yet very large groups like the YMCA and very small groups.
Exactly, exactly. Large institutions like Johns Hopkins School of Nursing, they had some wonderful programs that we've funded. So we really encourage everyone to ask. Our grants, maximum grant we give is $20,000, but that doesn't mean you have to ask for that much. A few years ago, we gave one for about $1,000.
But it's money that can make a difference.
Definitely, definitely. And it does help educate our members. You know, when we give these grants and review all this information, we become much more knowledgeable about what's going on in the city and what the priorities are. And we think we're developing a stronger, how do I say, stronger citizens?
Yeah, I mean, educated women who know the needs and can then help make a difference.
Exactly, and that's how we've grown. You know, as I mentioned before, it was 50 members, and now we're in our 11th year and we're at 370. It's very exciting. This is for the Baltimore metropolitan area. There are also giving circles in Anne Arundel County, Howard County, all over the nation actually. And we have received, through our website, contact from Rochester, for example. They wanted to start a giving circle, so they contacted us and came down to visit to find out exactly how we did it. And now they're going great guns.
Yeah, the power of banding together and making a difference is very empowering.
Yes, yes.
I have also heard, and maybe you can collaborate this, that our grant-making process is so demanding that once people go through this, they can leverage it for more money through other organizations. But we're going to come back in a few minutes and you can talk about that. We are at the Maryland Women's Heritage Center, and this is just a really fascinating, interesting place. And if you haven't visited, there are so many her stories here to enjoy and learn more about the important women in Maryland. And I hope you'll come and join us sometime. And today we're telling her story, and this is CHRISTIE COE, who's telling us about the Baltimore Women's Giving Circle. CHRISTIE, we were talking about the power that the Giving Circle sometimes gives organizations because they have been through our vetting process and received a grant. Can you give more details about that?
We've heard from a number of small organizations that we were the first group to fund them, and that they've then used that to go to the larger funders in the local area and actually have received grants based on our reputation, which makes us feel really good.
Oh yeah, I would think so.
But it really helps them, and we really look hard. Last year we got involved with veteran women's groups, and not realizing that this is a very important issue today. And we funded 2, and we are going to have an education panel speaking about this at our December meeting. Actually, the situation, women are becoming more of a significant percentage in the military, and how they are being treated and what the services are that are available to them.
Well, I know personally, I find the full circle meetings that we have quarterly very educational and interesting, and being held at lunchtime. A lot of women can get away and take that noon to 2 time to come and see friends and learn more about the circle. And can visitors come to our full circle meetings?
They can. We have 3 meetings that they are welcome, and then the meeting in the spring in May when we do the business of the circle and actually vote on new officers and the grants. They are not included in that meeting.
No, that's a members only.
That is. But we meet basically in a couple of churches in the northern part of Baltimore City, the Episcopal Cathedral, Redeemer Church. I mention their names because they're very kind to us and really help us in having our meetings.
There's another activity that the Circle does that, being a reader, I find near and dear to my heart, that was started last year. Would you like to talk about the Circle Reads group?
Sure. Circle Reads, we decided we should have a book club. This came from some of the women in the Circle wanted a little more social time. When the Circle first started, people were worried, members were worried that it would be just another women's group and not taken seriously. So they really were focused on the business of grant making and the business of learning about the issues facing women in Baltimore. Well, we're now pushing back a little bit, and people want a chance to get together a little, some more. So we started a book group. We had 2 meetings last year, 2 books, and we invite experts on the issue. One was on foster care, one was on domestic violence, so we had people speak to or answer questions that would arise in the discussion of the book. This year it's the life,
The Immortal Life.
The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks.
Yes.
And this plays into our focus on health this year. And that meeting will be in November.
And it should be a fascinating discussion because it's a fascinating book.
And I believe the issue was at Johns Hopkins Hospital.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
so it's very local.
Yeah, but she's still around in lots of places around the world.
Oh, that's good.
If you haven't read the book, you'll know what I'm talking about when you have. So, And we're going to go to our break now, and we'll wrap up in a few minutes.
Great.
Okay.
Yes, welcome back to Her Story, and I'm going to ask Christy if she has any last thoughts that you want to leave us with as far as the Baltimore Women's Giving Circle.
Well, I'm just really thrilled to have the opportunity to speak about the circle. I just really love it. I love being able to give the opportunity to women in Baltimore to improve their lives and the lives of their family members. It's a very exciting organization, and one in which I hope many women will join in. Thank
And
you.
as membership co-chair, I hope lots of women will check us out and see about if the Baltimore Women's Giving Circle is the right place for them to give their money. I'm Salli Ward, and this was another episode of Her Story, and I hope you'll be back with us again to learn more adventures of the women of the Baltimore area and of Maryland as well. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Her Story, and don't forget to come and join us here at the Women's Heritage Center. I'm Salli Ward, and I look forward to seeing you again for another episode of Her Story.